Greetings and welcome to this year's virtual Advent retreat. My name is Father Kevin Schneider and I'm here at Creighton Preparatory School. And as a gift to you, we're offering you these 4 videos, 10-15-minute videos, to help you reflect upon Advent and how it might prepare you for the Christmas season. During Advent, we're aware of preparing ourselves for God's coming to be among us. We'll show you and send out these videos once every Friday for the next month. Each video will help you reflect upon what you heard on Sunday at the first, second, third, or fourth Sunday of Advent. And then on Friday, we'll try to help you remember what it says to prepare you for the next opportunity. And so, let's begin. The first Sunday of Advent comes from the Gospel of Luke. And you know, all the stories of Advent this season will come from the Gospel of Luke. Luke is trying to invite all people who may have a faith history or not, to try to be open to God's coming and living among us as a human being in our world, as the Son, as Jesus. So we start Advent season thinking about the world, reflecting upon how the world is. And here is from the Gospel. There will be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and on earth distress among nations, confused by the roaring of the sea and the waves. People will faint from fear and foreboding of what is coming upon the world, for the powers of heavens will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Now when these things begin to take place, stand up. Raise your heads, because your redemption is drawing near. That was the message from the gospel this past Sunday. Raise your heads. Power up. Get ready for the glory of God. Rather than just sitting back and saying, okay, this Advent is like every other Advent. No, get yourself impassioned, powered. Be alive for the glory of God. That's the hope. That's the dream. As St. Ignatius invites us in his spiritual exercises, he wants us to reflect upon the incarnation. The incarnation, the divine becoming human. When I pray about it, when I reflect upon it, when I meditate on it, I think about the 3 members of the divine person, living in their divine unity and their relationship, looking at the world and remembering this world is good. We love this world. We created it for goodness and for love. And look what happened. People were in struggling relationships with one another. People were angry and hating. People were prideful and jealous. Look what they did to all that's good. So then they reflect upon, how do we respond to this? Well, they respond with love. The second person of the Divine Trinity says, send me into the world so that I can help them remember what love is, what it means to love one another. Send me so that I can remind them of the goodness that I offered, that we created. Send me. Well, the invitation then for us is to say, how do I respond to the world? How do I respond to others? How do I respond to the people I know, I meet, the stories I read? Is it in love? Or do I allow my frustration and my hatred and my anger to take over? The invitation this Advent season, for me at least, and maybe for you too, is to remember that it's all about love. It's not all about revenge. It's not all about my being right, but it's about us loving each other. Can we live more out of love? St. Ignatius invites us to learn a little technique. When I'm in conversation with another person, I might make a presupposition. I might presuppose that the person I'm talking to is coming at the conversation from their best self. They're trying the best that they can, whether I agree with them or not. They're trying to be the best they can. And if I try to respond and receive them in that way, and there's something that I don't agree with or don't understand, I can ask questions, but doing so in kindness. Can I kindly ask questions for clarity? And if in their response I still don't agree, then Ignatius would invite us to say, correct them, but in kindness. I'm not trying to make sure you understand my point of view, but I'm trying to help us understand the goodness that God wants for us. It's about love. It's about being in love with and for one another. Can we live that way as we live through this week week of Advent, where we're trying to become aware of the world, and yet how might God respond to the world? God has already responded. We find God in all things. God is very much alive here, wanting us to know how to love. And so how do you learn how to love from Jesus? How do you learn how to love from the way the Trinity responded by sending the angel Gabriel to Mary? How do you understand love by paying attention to how we're to be in relationship with one another? That's the invitation. May that help move us into the joy that our God wants us to know. God bless you and fill you with hope.